Hey everyone, it's Kelly from Muddy Beards 4x4. Today I'm going to be working on my 1997 Jeep Wrangler TJ. I'm going to be relocating the upper coil mounts that are welded to the frame. So we're going to be cutting those off and moving them back probably about 2 inches. We'll see once we get cut into it where it wants to sit at, but it should be an easy project. So I'll show you all the tools that I used and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Okay, so I'm cutting off this driver's side upper coil mount. So what I did was just took your grinding wheel and make a little notch in it right here around the edges. And you want to use the air hammer to get it out. Actually comes out pretty easily. I was surprised. And for the inside, it's a little more difficult. See, I covered up my fuel lines, moved it away a little bit, and use this angle grinder that has that angle. I can get in behind there and cut it just a little bit. And I was able to use a hammer and a pry bar and wheeled it out. Now you might have to unbolt your body mounts and jack up your body just a little bit to get a little bit more clearance. Basically all I'm doing right here is moving this coil bracket way up here in the front. You can see my cut marks right here because it puts that coil at an angle basically as it flexes up, especially with this short arm system that I have. I plan on updating to a long arm. I'm going to build that here pretty soon, but just moving this coil up so that it's straight. So basically this is all I'm doing is just cutting it off, moving it over. Fits perfect right in this pocket. You probably have something in there. It's going to give me probably a little bit of lift in the back, which I need like a ½ inch or so anyways. It's not going to bother me. But I do expect it to give it a little bit of lift. Okay, so I got the coil bracket all cut off on this side. As you can see, I got it ground down because I'm going to be re-welding it back on. I actually don't even care about the back side because it's not really supporting any weight. It's not really a whole lot of stress that's going to be on it, so I'm just going to be welding the sides and a little bit on the bottom here. So you can see where the bracket was before. It was way over here. You can see how much of a bind that puts that coil in. So we're going to be moving it back to about right here. It's about 2 1/4 inches back farther, and I ended up cutting 1 1/4 inches off of this side so I could bring this back farther. I know there's a lot of people on forums talking about Jeep forums that you just flip the bracket around because this side is shorter and you can do it that way, but the bracket is actually offset so the coil won't sit where it's supposed to be. It'll actually move it out farther. So we're going to go ahead and put this in, we're going to tack it up and then see what it looks like. Okay, so I got this thing tacked in. See how tack welds right there. I put my coil in, jacked it up just to make sure there's no clearance issues with the track bar mount right here. Looks like it's going to be pretty good. Okay, now that this side is all welded in, I'm working on tacking the other side in, but I want to do some measuring, make sure that everything's on center. It's going to be the same on both sides. So I'm just going to use this hole in the frame. It should be fairly close on both sides, I'm hoping. But it's about 8 3/4 from the center of this to the first opening of this hole. So go check the other side, which I already tacked together. And looks like we're pretty much exactly 8 3/4. So it looks like it's going to be the same or close enough to the same on both sides that I'm happy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and burn it in and then start putting it back together. As you can see now, we got it all done here. Gave it a little paint, welded it in, got everything put back together. You can see now how the coil is basically straight up and down. So I have some more videos that I'm going to be working on. My next project is going to be relocating the shock on the outside of the frame. I'm going to be using this factory Ford F250 front shock mount. I'm going to be modifying it and cutting my frame and putting it up in here, running my shocks on the outside of the frame. So if you like the videos that we're doing here on Muddy Beards, go ahead and like us and subscribe to our channel. We got a bunch more videos that are going to be working on. Anytime we're working on a project, we're just going to film it, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Thanks.